start your lawn mowing business in 2025 now. Now is a good time to start your lawn mowing business. Having the facts available to you is going to be so much easier. G'day viewers, Jeff McPhee's Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. In today's video, I'm going to use my 4 decades of experience and mistakes to help you kickstart your lawn mowing business in 2025. This video is for the ones that are thinking about starting, or you may have already been in your infancy of your business, and maybe some of these tips might help you along the way. This profession of the lawn and gardening business is very lucrative. If it's done right, it's very rewarding. Your own destiny that you make yourself, your own boss. You've got no one telling you what to do. It's a really great life. But there's a lot of against. You must be aware of this. You know, statistically, 90% of business fail within the 5 years. Whether they fail because they fail financially, or they fail because they don't want to do it anymore, or whether they've worn out. It's a very physical and demanding job. Weather conditions, it's hot, it's cold, it's windy, it's freezing, it's wet. You can't work because it's too wet. You can't work because it's too hot. The continual strain on your body over the years takes a toll. I've been doing this 4 decades, but I've done it through working smarter and not harder. Yes, I have the complaints, but you've got to realise there's a wear and tear on your body. So therefore you've got to plan for it. Very important. The other reasons why people fail are they're too cheap. They might have a lot of work, but their pricing is too low. They fail to communicate effectively with their customers. If you can't communicate with your customers, you haven't got a business. You may not plan to pay your taxes, have money aside to replace equipment. You might make bad equipment choices. You might make bad customer choices, targeting the wrong areas. All these contribute to making the business fail. So in today's video, we're going to address these issues and maybe it might help. All right, I'm going to go over these very briefly. If I did this video point by point, it would take hours. So I'm trying to condense it down quickly because otherwise it just gets too long. Here's some critical points you need to consider. You must have a business plan before you start, a roadmap of where you're going to go. What market do you want to tackle? What niche have you got? The most critical thing when you're starting out is not to do everything for everyone. I tried that and you just get completely lost. You get completely snowed under. So you need to tackle little things at a time, little niches, mow and blow only. Then start working on hedges, then start working on other aspects of the area that you like. So before you start, you need that business plan. But the most important thing before you do anything, you must be registered, you must have insurances. Get a broker to help you out with insurances for your equipment. Public liability, so essential. You don't want to be losing your house because you failed to, you made a mistake and it was hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage, and it can happen and it has happened. So make sure you've got the insurances. Find a very good accountant. If you get a good accountant, he will set you up at the start. He will tell you which is the best way to go. He will tell you the taxes that you need to pay, to put aside for. He'll have other gardening businesses on his books, and he may indicate to you what type of turnover to expect. So that's going to help you with your pricing. It's going to help you set up your budget. Having a good accountant makes it so much easier for taxation, makes it so much easier for financial planning. You don't have to go to them all the time. Once a year, I go to my accountant once a year. But when I first started, a couple of visits throughout the year, just to see how we were going. He teaches you how to read your numbers. Because if you know your numbers in business, you're going to be successful. Get a good cloud-based accountancy program, which is in line with your accountant, so that your back end, your bookwork is so much easier. Forget about spreadsheets and pencil and paper and shoe boxes. Those days are gone. People are becoming too professional. You want to put all your effort into your business. The administration side, make it easy as you can. Marketing, well, you've got your business plan in place. You want to target particular areas on that particular subject. If your area might not be where you live, because that mightn't be the target area of good quality customers, you might have to travel, and that's fine. I travel 30 minutes to work, do my day's work, and then come home. There's no worries with that. There's no problem with that. Yes, it is nice to have it around your doorstep if you can, but sometimes in new estates or areas, then you're missing out. Like, I know a lot of contractors say, oh, why would you travel? Well, if you can get that extra dollar, if you can get that quality client, your life is so much easier. Marketing is so important. Look, social media, you've got your web page, you've got your Google ads, you've got on Google, there's plenty of platforms you can put free ads on. You've got your Facebook and all the other social media platforms that you can have a crack at. Don't discount printed media. The older generation that don't use computers love the printed media. A particular village that I looked after, they had a dossier. It covered about 3,000 houses, got a lot of work out of that, because the oldies love looking at printed media. They don't want to look at web pages and computers. They're not interested. So don't discount that. Letterbox drops, door hangers, which they use a lot in America. I know some people around here, they do, you put a quote on the, your lawn will cost X amount of dollars, and they'll hang that on the door. So when people come home, they'll see that. Letterbox drops, you might put a quote in the letterbox to say, listen, if you're interested, we can look after this property for X amount of dollars. All marketing ploys, there's so many different. Make sure you look at all avenues and constantly upgrade. Brand your company across all platforms. Your ute's got the logo, your uniform's got the logo, your invoices, your estimates, your web page, all your Facebook posts, all your before and after pictures, you'll have your logo. You've got to develop that brand that people become used to. When you're publishing your media, have your before and after shots. Even if it's your own backyard, just show people what sort of a job you can do before and after. But the best marketing is the word of mouth. Your first client, you do the best possible job. You've got those edges looking beautiful. You've mowed the lawns, and they'll refer you to their friends and customers. Someone's walking past, make contact with them. Be nice. Say, gee, you're a great bloke. And they'll start asking you questions. Any chance of giving us a quote? So if you come across as friendly, confident, and communicate with people around you, word of mouth, cheapest and easiest and most effective advertising you can get. One other thing for marketing is networking other contractors. Look around the area that you're targeting as other contractors. They call it competition, but they really are an asset to you. Those contractors are so busy, they want to provide overflow where they'll recommend you to other clients that want work. If you do take that on, don't let that contractor down. Don't sort of let him down, because he'll know straight away. Over the years, I've given a lot of work away, and people that let me down, I won't use them again. If they don't appreciate what I'm trying to do for them, I'll move on to the next one, because there's always another person that really wants the work, and I'll really help them out. I'll always have an overflow of work, and it's nice to be able to refer them on, and people appreciate that. But make sure you do a good job so that you're going to get future work. Pricing, another important part of running your business. When you first start out, I did it, and I'm sure a lot of other business people did the same thing. I used to work for X amount of dollars per hour. Say it was $20 an hour in your previous employment. So you're saying to yourself, well, if I charge $40 an hour, twice as much as what I'm getting, I'm going to make a killing. It doesn't work that way. Your business cost to run. When you're working for someone else, you didn't have to provide your vehicle, insurances, all the equipment, all the overheads. You didn't have to provide that. The company did. You were just paid a wage. But now that you're a business owner, you've got to pay for all that. So when you add all that up, that $40 an hour, for example, that might not even cover your costs, and there's nothing left. You've got to research. You've got to know your numbers. You've got to ask around other contractors. It's so important to find the sweet spot. When you're quoting for lawns, look around and ask what other contractors are charging, and try to fit yourself into that zone. You know, I see the failure of businesses. I'm so busy, Jeff, I've got so much work. And they have. But the thing is, their pricing is so cheap. That's why they're getting a lot of work. They're winning every quote because they're too cheap. You know, their books are full, might be fine. But at the end of the year, when they've got to fork out for taxes and replacement equipment and running costs, there's no money left. So I think it's so important to understand your numbers and then to price accordingly. Equipment. I think this is one of the most important part of the business in the lawn care industry is the type and the quality of the equipment that you're going to use. It's very tempting to use your old mower or your father's mower and go ahead. You've got to remember a domestic mower, for example, you might mow it 50 times a year. You'll do that in 1 week in the commercial area. So it's important that you can buy the best mower that you can, and preferably a commercial mower. And absolutely buy it from a mower shop who's going to give you backup, it's going to provide you with parts, and it's going to provide you with advice. And they'll tell you who's using what and what problems they're having. So it's essential that you do your research on your equipment. So there's 4 basic items in the equipment that we're going to use. One is the edger. Because you're not very proficient when you're starting out on edges, I recommend a blade edger. An atom type edger, as you'll see here, or maybe a stick edger which you attach to your multi-tool, to your whippersnipper. Both of those will do a really nice job. It'll provide a nice clean cut. The second, of course, is your whippersnipper line trimmer, weed whacker, strimmer, whatever you call it around the world. Again, buy the very best you can. Now, whether you buy battery or petrol, that depends on your budget and depends on your research. Personally, I'll go battery all the way. But when you're starting out, it is a big expense, battery, and maybe you do start with the petrol. With the line trimmer, if you can, get a multi-tool. In other words, you can put an attachment. You can have your shaft which will do the line trimming. You can attach a shaft that'll do pole sawing. You can have a shaft that'll do hedging. You'll have a shaft that can do edging, for example. So that's good. And also, with both the mower and the whippersnipper, if you can afford it, get a backup. Even if it's a simple domestic backup for the mower and a very basic whippersnipper. But a backup are essential. Mowing a client's lawn for the first time and you're halfway through and your mower breaks down, very embarrassing. I'll be back tomorrow. If you have that backup, it really is a godsend. And of course, last but not least is the blower. Battery or petrol again, but blowers are essential. Handheld blowers, quite easy to use, quicker than a broom. And when you're doing larger, longer jobs, backpack blowers, if you want to go that, especially for the commercial car parts, etc. But when you're starting out, you're probably only going to start residential. The handheld one are quite easy to use. You want something to be able to grab out of the toolbox, blow and go, away you go. When you're learning the trade of mowing, create a system that suits you. Create a system that makes the mowing process, when you're doing the mow and blow, a simple process, a quick and an efficient. Edge, whippersnip, line trim, blow, mow, blow again, and away you go. If you create a system and you touch the tools once, except for the blower, and you keep that system rigid, you'll have a situation where you're doing it more quickly, more efficiently. And once you've created that system, if you employ somebody, you'll be able to give them that system to use. It'll make it so much easier to teach someone when you've got a system in place. A system is going to be different for everybody. We're all going to do it differently. We're going to handle equipment differently. But the hardest thing in a system is learning that process, learning every bit of that procedure. Whippersnipping, line trimming are very hard to learn edges. Just practice, practice, practice. The more practice, the better you're going to get. That's why I mentioned about using a blade edger until you become proficient with the line trimmer. Makes it so much easier. But systems is important. Now, of course, we've got our equipment that we're going to use, but we need the accessories. You know, we're going to have rakes, shovels, picks, all those basic parts. Have a long handle shovel, As you'll see when I'm mulching here in this example, it's so much easier standing up, you're not bending over. You might need small trowels when you're planting little annual plants, etc. Other bits of equipment, of course, it's handy to have a little chainsaw, a little top-handed chainsaw. It's very easy for limbing. A customer, you might be mowing lawn, said, look, I've got a branch, any chance you've got a chainsaw, I can cut it up. Good extra money to be made there. Get this, always have the essentials, you know, the loppers. You're going to have, I use the Felco's number 2 secateurs. I'll give you the tip. You pay a fair bit for these. I've lost a few over the years. Treat them like your phone. Don't lose them. They're very easy to lose. So you've got a pouch or something, but always constantly be aware. Keep them sharp, keep them clean. Use disinfectant between properties so that you're not going to be spreading diseases, etc. Methylated spirits I use for that procedure. And you're going to have all your oils, your jerry cans. You're going to have bags to collect your grass. If the customer hasn't got a bin for you to use, well, you can use these grass bags. Big bags for your prunings. Always carry those. Always carry that on your trailer or your ute, whatever you got. Always carry tools that cover every nut and bolt of your equipment, because when you're out in the field and something goes wrong, you've got that spanner, that screwdriver, that ratchet that's going to fix the problem in temporary. Bit of wire is always handy to have as well. So those are just the main bits and pieces. I've probably missed a half a dozen bits, but that's fine. Other things, of course, you may have sprayers. You know, I just use sprayers, battery operated sprayers. I've got knapsack sprayers. Spraying weedicide, spraying chemicals to the lawn to prevent weeds, etc. in the lawn. So that's something. Vehicles, I like a ute, because a ute I don't have to carry a trailer. I have got a trailer which I carry my ride-on mower. I'm not going to talk about ride-on mowing because we're talking about starting out. We're probably only going to be doing domestic and hand mowing, etc. So a ute is really handy. Don't have to worry about tight spots in streets. I can park in the driveway. You know, it's all racked up, so I've got me edger quite easily racked up. My mowers are tied down. I've got ratchets to tie the mowers down, ramps on and off. You don't want to be lifting mowers up and down on you. I mean, that thing weighs over 60-something kilos, so you won't be lifting that. Racks for your whippersnippers and your hedges. You know, I've got additional whippersnippers and hedges to keep me out of trouble. Cones, safety cones, put around the vehicle when I stop. So you can use a ute. You can use a trailer. You can have all that set up in the trailer. You can use a van. I know the UK, you use big vans all the time because you've got a lot of convicts over that pinch your stuff. Over here, in 40 years, I've had one robbery. And that's why it's important to have insurance, because the next day, the insurance company put the money in the bank so I can go and buy. They knocked off one of my blowers. Next day, we replaced the blower. So we're pretty lucky down there. But so utes, okay, throw a tarp over it, stop stuff flying out, but you've got to make sure things are tied down on the ute. I get a bit slack sometimes, but you've really got to keep mindful of that. Trailer on a car, trailer on a ute, a van. Look, you can operate out of a car, but it's so unprofessional. You really make sure that your utes or car or your trailer's got signage on it, because signage is free advertising, makes you look professional. Yes, I know it's a low entry when you go into this lawn game, but if you're going to do it, buy something decent. And you don't have to buy a brand new ute. You can buy a nice, reliable ute, wash it every week. The same with the trailer and the car. Wash it every week. Every week I wash it. It's clean. It looks professional. So that's just a quick overrun of vehicles. Now, in business, it's not easy. Success doesn't come overnight. Success can take months. It can take years. You've got to go over and over again of your marketing, over and over again of your systems, your equipment you're using, your pricing. You've got to keep going over, ask questions, ask other contractors, keep annoying people, keep finding that information out till you find the sweet spot. But just don't think because you've got a lot of work that means you're successful. At the end of the year, it's your numbers that are going to tell you, and your accountant will tell you, whether you're actually making a decent living out of it. And you can. It's nice to sit back and just be the old lawnmower man, which that was back 4 or 5 decades ago. Now it's a professional outfit, and there's no reason, if you have that mindset of being professional, you're going to be successful. But you need to keep revising all those points that I've made. Viewers, look, I can make this such a long video. I'm trying to condense it down to a manageable length, and hope you've got something out of that. And Happy New Year. Hope 225 is a success. Really looking forward to it. I'm going on. I'm keeping going. In my 70s, I've got a few more left in me, and I love it. You've got to have the passion. This is where a lot of people fail. They don't have the passion for the business. You've got to have passion for work. You've got to have passion for your business. Otherwise, go and do something else. See you in the next video. Bye.